In a world fractured by conflict and division, countless lives are disrupted, shattered by violence and loss. Among these stories is that of Amina, a remarkable woman who transformed her anguish into a powerful message of hope and connection. This is the untold story of Amina, the bridge builder. Amina's journey begins in a land torn apart by war, where she once lived in a vibrant community rich with culture and history. But the outbreak of conflict forced her and her family to flee, abandoning their home and everything familiar. Displacement brought not only physical loss but deep emotional scars, fear, uncertainty, and the pain of being uprooted. Faced with the overwhelming trauma of war and exile, Amina found herself in a new place, surrounded by strangers and divided communities. Instead of succumbing to despair, she chose to channel her experience into creating something that could heal: art. Through vivid murals and heartfelt stories, she began to paint not only walls, but the invisible bridges between people separated by ideology, ethnicity, and fear. Her first works were simple yet telling: images of hands reaching across fences, of broken chains mended by threads of color. Slowly, the murals grew more intricate, narrating tales of shared humanity amid the divisions. As her art spread through city streets, people started to listen. Amina's storytelling not only depicted the pain of displacement, but illuminated the universal desire for belonging and peace. Yet the path was never easy. Those wary of change dismissed her efforts as naive, and others questioned whether a single person, a refugee no less, could reconcile communities so deeply entrenched in mistrust. Still, Amina persevered, holding workshops where stories and art intertwined, inviting dialogue and empathy. The gradual transformation was palpable. Tensions that once fueled suspicion softened as neighbors gathered to witness and contribute to the evolving murals. The walls that divided them were no longer just barriers of brick or mortar, but symbols of wounds that could be healed through understanding and compassion. Amina's story is more than a personal triumph. It's a testament to the enduring power of human resilience and creativity. Her art has become a beacon in a divided world, reminding us that peace is not merely the absence of conflict, but the presence of connection. In this analog-style presentation, we honor Amina's legacy, reflecting on the urgency of empathy in times of division. Her journey urges us to look beyond the headlines and statistics to the faces and stories behind the numbers, to recognize the human cost of war and the indispensable need for reconciliation. This story calls on each of us to become bridge builders in our own communities, wielding patience, respect, and creativity as tools to mend what has been broken. Through Amina's example, we see how art and storytelling are not just acts of expression, but acts of peace. As you reflect on Amina's journey, consider this: how can you help dismantle walls in your world? How can your own experiences, your own voice, become a force for unity and healing? In times like these, when division seems ever more entrenched, Amina's story shines as a reminder that hope endures. Through courage and compassion, we can rebuild, reconnect, and redefine what it means to be a community. The story of Amina, the bridge builder, is far from over. It lives in every mural painted, every conversation sparked, and every heart open to understanding. Be part of this movement. Together, we can transform trauma into triumph and walls into pathways toward peace. Watch closely, listen deeply, and let Amina's journey inspire you to imagine and build a future where no one is truly divided.